After a shock defeat to Argentina in their opening game of the Rugby Championship, All Blacks defense coach Scott Hansen has stressed the importance of group introspection to turn things around when the teams meet again in Auckland on Saturday. Their previous game ended in a 38-30 defeat to the Pumas, and the All Blacks are determined to bounce back when they meet again at Eden Park, the legendary home of New Zealand rugby, where they have an impressive 49-match unbeaten run dating back to 1994. If you've watched this far, type in the comments, "Go All Blacks." Hansen stressed that the team needs to take an honest look at its performance and focus on areas that need improvement. Honest reviews and honest conversations are essential. We've had good discussions about where our game is, where we need to improve, and what lessons we can learn, Hansen said. That review includes examining the team's preparation and execution on the field. He revealed that the coaching staff is committed to correcting the issues identified in the Wellington defeat. Regarding the team's performance, Hansen was quick to point out that the team's lack of efficiency in getting out of their own half of the field was a critical factor in the defeat. "We were caught in our own half, and our efficiency in getting out of there was not good enough. Argentina managed to put pressure on us, and we didn't respond well in that area," he explained. He also mentioned that once the All Blacks managed to get into the Argentine half, they were able to score points, but their execution failed at times. If you've watched this far, type in the comments, "Go All Blacks." With the pressure on and the need to perform better, the All Blacks are focused on ensuring that the synergy between defense and attack improves, as well as refining their set-piece play. Hansen has made it clear that the team needs to show more intent and make their mark on the game. Talks about how the team can become more efficient are ongoing, and Hansen believes the opportunities for improvement are huge. With Eden Park as the backdrop and an impressive record in hand, the All Blacks are ready to make a statement and seek rehabilitation against the Pumas. Now, let's see how Coach Scott Robertson is dealing with the repercussions of this defeat and what changes he is considering for the next game. Young All Blacks lock Josh Lord has signed a new contract with New Zealand Rugby and the Chiefs, ensuring he remains in Waikato until 2026. A towering figure, Lord made his debut for New Zealand in 2021 and has now earned 4 caps. He also had the opportunity to come on as a substitute in the Rugby Championship opener against Argentina. Commenting on the renewal, Lord expressed his gratitude. "I am humbled to renew with the brothers. They have shown a lot of faith in me, and I look forward to repaying that faith in the years to come." The 23-year-old began his professional career in the NPC with the Taranaki outfit before joining the Chiefs for their 2020 Super Rugby Aotearoa campaign. Since then, his impressive performances have seen him earn a call-up to the national team, making his debut in a historic 104-14 win over the USA. Lord also made his senior debut 2 weeks later against Italy. However, Lord's journey has not been without its challenges. He has faced significant injuries, including a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, in 2022, which have limited his opportunities since then. Despite the obstacles, Chiefs coach Clayton McMillan believes Lord's best is yet to come as he returns to the All Blacks squad for this Rugby Championship. "Josh has been an important part of our squad for a number of seasons, and we are thrilled that he is committed to the club for another 2 years," McMillan said. He also highlighted the rarity of securing a player with Lord's profile and skill set. "Josh has struggled with injuries, not uncommon for big, athletic young players, as they adapt to the physical demands of their position. But he has always handled the challenges in an exemplary manner, being diligent in his rehabilitation, and we are now seeing him return to full fitness and health," McMillan added. Lord may have only played 3 times for the Chiefs in the 2024 Super Rugby season, but his return to full fitness has seen him named in the All Blacks Rugby Championship squad. Now, with a contract extension, he is ready to establish himself as a force in New Zealand rugby. In the meantime, we'll be keeping an eye on how Scott Robertson is coping with the challenges of selection and his concerns over Damian McKenzie's performance following the defeat to Argentina. Following the shock 38-30 defeat to Argentina in the Rugby Championship opener, All Blacks center Jordy Barrett has expressed his frustration with the team's high penalty count, calling it super frustrating. As the New Zealand side prepare for a rematch against the Pumas this weekend at the iconic Eden Park, Barrett has stressed that discipline will be a key area of focus. That will be a focal point for this week, as will discipline, Barrett told reporters. We can't afford to give away that many penalties against any team. It's super frustrating and disappointing at the same time. He admitted the team had already identified discipline as a critical area to work on ahead of the match, making the performance in Wellington all the more frustrating. What we talked about probably hit home at times, and we didn't handle it as well as we would have liked, Barrett explained, referring to the Argentines' robustness. Argentina are a physical team, and if they can control the tempo and force penalties, it creates pressure on the build-up play. The games become a struggle, and if they take their chances to score, it makes for a tough night. Barrett acknowledged that the New Zealand team are in a period of reflection following the defeat and are desperate to get back to winning ways in the next game, admitting that the defeat has affected him. It's about sticking together, learning, and being better next week, because we didn't perform to our standards, he stressed. When we did get a bit of momentum, it went our way. But there were also a lot of moments where we didn't capitalize at crucial moments. He also noted, we could have put them under a bit more pressure, maybe through our kicking game. It's disappointing. Anticipation for the two teams' rematch this weekend is high, and Barrett assured the All Blacks will be much improved as they look to bounce back. They, Argentina, are a good team, strong on the breakdown. They disrupted a lot of our play, and they are a passionate team that doesn't give up. We have to accept this loss and improve. And we will improve, Barrett said, firm in his assessment. We felt we were a little high on the collisions, especially in the first half. We talked about it at halftime, and we improved a little bit after that. But when we scored points, we didn't get out of the break well, and that led to some mistakes. We didn't execute when we had opportunities. We'll come back, we'll get better individually, look in the mirror first and control how we prepare for these guys next week. They're a good team, we need to respect them, and they're getting better every week. Meanwhile, the All Blacks' focus will be on the performance of Josh Lord, who has just signed a new contract with New Zealand Rugby, demonstrating his determination to contribute to the team in the coming years. The All Blacks face a challenging situation after Saturday's shock defeat to Argentina, which could see them slip out of the top 3 in the World Rugby rankings. Solid under coach Scott Robertson, New Zealand had recorded 3 consecutive wins against strong teams including England and Fiji, which brought them closer to rugby powerhouses South Africa and Ireland. The Springboks' narrow 25-24 defeat to Ireland had narrowed the gap between the teams, raising the All Blacks' hopes of regaining the lead in the Rugby Championship. However, those hopes were shattered after a 38-30 defeat to the Pumas in Wellington, resulting in them losing 2 ranking points, dropping from 90.37 to 88.37, putting them almost 5 points behind the reigning world champions. A further defeat this weekend, especially by more than 15 points, could see the All Blacks slip further down the standings, potentially dropping behind France. On the other hand, Argentina reaped huge benefits from their historic 3rd win over the All Blacks, gaining 2 points and moving up to 6th place, ahead of Scotland. The Pumas shone in the New Zealand capital, scoring 4 tries through Lucio Cinti, Mateo Carreras, Franco Molina and Agustin Creevy to secure victory. This change in rankings was the only change among the Rugby Championship teams, with the Springboks and Wallabies remaining in 1st and 9th positions respectively. Despite their convincing 33-7 victory, the Springboks did not gain any additional ranking points as they remained well ahead of New Zealand on 90.36 points. Rassie Erasmus's side demonstrated impressive balance between their powerful forward line and talented backs, led by Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu. Australia failed to respond to the visitors' brilliant display, conceding 5 tries, including 2 from Kurtley Arends. Now the All Blacks' attention turns to their next crucial match, where they need to not only rebuild confidence but also secure a positive result to avoid a further drop in the rankings. The pressure is on them, and the need to fine-tune their discipline and performance on the field is more important than ever, especially given Barrett's recent analysis of the challenges the team has faced. The All Blacks are determined not to get carried away by their defeat to Argentina in the opening round of the Rugby Championship and are fully focused on seeking revenge in their next encounter at Eden Park in Auckland on Saturday. Defense coach Scott Hansen stressed that the priority is to learn from the mistakes of the last game, where the All Blacks lost 38-30 to Los Pumas. Since the Rugby Championship fixtures were announced, there has been a great deal of interest in the matches between the All Blacks, the tournament's most successful team, and their historic rivals, the Springboks, the reigning world champions. However, Hansen made it clear that the immediate focus was not on the tests against South Africa, which will take place in Johannesburg on August 31st and Cape Town on September 7th. It's one test at a time for the All Blacks. That's where we're focused, he said. After the defeat, Hansen acknowledged that the team had learned valuable lessons that need to be applied in future matches. This is a test that we need to learn from and apply the lessons throughout the season. We can't go through that again, so that's our challenge, he added. The focus this week is solely on the game against Argentina and not on future challenges. When asked if the coaching staff had watched the other Rugby Championship clash between the Springboks and the Wallabies, Hansen explained that their attention was focused on correcting the team's mistakes. I didn't watch it myself. As you can imagine, I'm quite busy analyzing our game at the moment. As defense coach, Hansen was not happy with the amount of points the All Blacks conceded to Argentina, especially the 20 points that came from 4 tries. You take these things personally, the 48-year-old said. What is your game? How can you fix it? We talked about how we need to be much better than we were. While acknowledging that defensive intensity and physicality were at a good level, Hansen also warned that the team needed to quickly adjust to the transitional changes in Argentina's attack, which features a different style of play. When you talk about defending, you talk about physicality and intensity, and we weren't far off that. Our tackle rate was as high as in any test. But playing against Argentina, it's a different type of attack, he stressed. With the pressure on and the need to improve, the All Blacks prepare for a crucial test on Saturday, where their response to the challenge of beating Argentina will be key to their Rugby Championship ambitions. All Blacks greats Sir John Kirwan and Mils Muliaina have analyzed New Zealand's defeat to Argentina and highlighted the lack of scrums as a crucial factor that hampered the team throughout the match. The All Blacks have been recognized for their skill and creativity over the years, but as we head into 2024, they have struggled to find their rhythm. Scott Robertson's side failed to impose themselves against England's solid defense in the first 2 matches of the campaign, and the scrum proved to be the deciding factor that made the difference. The 2 mainstays of the starting lineup, Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Lomax, have raised their game to world-class standards in recent seasons, with Ofa Tuungafesi and Fletcher Newell also excelling from the bench. Thanks to these front-row players and the talent of playmaker Beauden Barrett, the All Blacks managed to beat England in 2 hard-fought matches. Having overcome Fiji, the team entered the Rugby Championship with a perfect record of 3 wins from 3 games, and will be hoping to extend that run. However, they were stunned by an impressive Argentina side who avoided a direct scrum challenge, an area that has proved vulnerable in recent years, and emerged victorious 38-30. Kirwan stressed that the team needed to impose themselves up front. We talked about it, we need to challenge them up front. There was no scrum for 60 minutes, so the way you really make them cry is to impose yourself in the scrum, he told the breakdown. You win a few scrum penalties and kick forward. That just didn't happen. That was a big blow to us and took us off our game. Kirwan also voiced criticism of World Rugby's laws, arguing that they favor the set-piece-oriented style of play that has seen the Springboks win the last 2 World Cups. The governing body has sought to speed up the game and place an emphasis on attacking play, and Saturday's encounter was characterized by a fast-paced, open game. Traditionally, this might have favored the All Blacks, but Argentina managed to keep up with the hosts, surprising Robertson's side, as Muliaina noted. That was where I thought it caught the All Blacks by surprise. They would really run, change play, and try to get into the wider channels. However, Muliaina warned that to sustain such an approach, consistent execution was needed. There was an issue earlier of starting like that and then falling off a bit, he said. For the All Blacks to step up, but the Argentines didn't. They stuck to their guns and almost reversed the game plan that the All Blacks were perhaps expecting. Kirwan agreed, feeling that Los Pumas' game plan had affected New Zealand's defensive rhythm. Our defensive line slows down because suddenly what you've been practicing is not in front of you. With Argentina attacking well and putting the All Blacks in a defensive position, Muliana felt it was time for the team to return to a more structured game and use the set piece as a weapon. When there was a scrum, we were backing down, but there was another chance for them to try and get back into the game. Let's go for the set piece, Muliana suggested. If there is a scrum, we can dominate physically to try and slow down a bit of the momentum that the Argentines were having, but there were no scrums.